All right, let's just get right into it. You know that feeling, that little jolt of dread when someone tags you in a photo? You click on it, kind of peeking through your fingers, just waiting for the cringe. We all do it. But what if I told you that the reason you hate that picture, well, it has almost nothing to do with how you really look.
Seriously, we've all been there. Staring at a picture of ourselves thinking, hold on, is that really me? My face looks so off. It feels like you're looking at a stranger. So today, we're going to unpack exactly why that photo feels so wrong, and it's this fascinating trip into psychology, biology, and even the tech inside your phone.
So here's the number one reason, the big one. The person you think of as you is actually a reflection. Every single day, you see a flipped version of your face in the mirror. That's the image your brain has saved for, your entire life as your identity. But a photo shows you the unflipped, true image, the one that everyone else sees all the time. So to your brain, that person in the picture, it isn't quite you. It's like a slightly off-kilter twin.
Now, to really get a handle on this, we've got to talk about a fundamental rule of psychology. It's a principle that explains why we like the things we like, whether it's our favorite song or, our own face. And it's called the mere exposure effect. It's actually a pretty simple idea. The more we see something, the more we like it. Our brains are basically pattern-matching machines, and they find comfort in what's familiar. And let's be honest, you see your mirror image every single day. Your photo image? Not so much. And this is where it gets so interesting. Check this out. There was this study, way back in 1977. Researchers showed people two pictures of themselves. One was a normal photo, and the other was a mirror image version. When they asked people which one they liked better, you guessed it, they overwhelmingly picked the mirror image. But here's the kicker. When they showed those exact same two photos to their close friends and partners, they all picked the regular photo. Why? Because that's the face they see every day.
And that is the absolute key here. That gut reaction, it's not you making a fair judgment on how you look. It's just a knee-jerk response to something unfamiliar. Your friends, they don't see anything wrong with that photo because to them, it just looks like, you.
Oh, and this is the perfect analogy. Think about hearing your own voice on a recording. It sounds so weird and high-pitched, right? That's because you're used to hearing your voice rumble through the bones in your head. It's called bone conduction. The recording is how everybody else hears you. So your recorded voice isn't bad, and your photo isn't ugly. They're just different from the version you're used to.
But wait, it goes even deeper than just what you prefer. This whole reaction is actually hardwired into our biology. This isn't just a feeling we have. It's a real neurological event happening in your brain.
So, scientists have done brain scans, and they've found that when you recognize your own face, a very specific network of neurons fires up, mostly in the right side of your brain. Your brain literally has a "hey, that's me" circuit built right in. It's a core part of what makes us feel like ourselves.
So what happens when you see that unfamiliar, unflipped photo? It actually messes with that "that's me" circuit. A part of your brain called the frontoparietal network basically throws up a red flag. It sends out a little mismatch signal that says, whoa, something's not quite right here. And that signal, that's the discomfort you're feeling. Okay, so we've got our brain's bias for the mirror image, but believe it or not, there's a second culprit at play here, and it's probably the device you're watching this on right now. Yep, the camera.
That's right, the camera lies. We have this idea that a photo is this perfectly objective snapshot of reality, but that's just not true. A camera is always interpreting, distorting, and squishing the world in ways our eyes never, ever would.
Okay, so first big reason, focal length. The camera on your phone has what's called a wide-angle lens. Think about it. When you take a selfie, you're holding it pretty close, right? Well, that wide-angle lens has a distorting effect. It makes whatever's closest to it seem way bigger. And what's closest to your phone in a selfie? Yep, your nose. So your nose looks bigger and everything else kind of seems to shrink away. Just look at the difference here. It's night and day. And second, a camera takes our 3D world and smushes it into a flat 2D image. See, with our two eyes, we get depth perception. That's how we see the subtle curves of a face or the sharp line of a jaw. A camera lens just sees a flat surface. All that delicate, defining detail just gets lost, and it can make faces look flatter and, less defined. So, look, between your brain playing tricks on you and your camera literally distorting your face, it's no wonder we hate our photos. But here's the good news. You can actually fight back. You can retrain your brain to bridge that gap and start feeling okay about the way you look in pictures.
And here are 3 really easy ways to do it.
First, just hack the mirror exposure effect we talked about. Look at photos of yourself more. It sounds simple, but it works. It builds familiarity. Second, for a quick confidence hit, just flip your selfies. Most phones have a setting for this. It'll instantly feel more right. And third, try watching videos of yourself. Seeing yourself move and talk helps your brain connect that weird static photo to the living, breathing person you know you are.
And for anyone who's really curious, there's this incredible invention called a true mirror. It uses two mirrors angled just right to show you a non-reverse reflection. It shows you what other people actually see. And what's wild is that the first reaction people have is almost always, "Whoa, I look so weird." But then they get used to it, and they start to see the person everyone else has been seeing all along.
So, if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. The flaws you see in a photo, that feeling of ugliness, it's not real. It's a glitch in your perception. It's just a simple lack of familiarity with the version of yourself that the rest of the world knows and loves.
Which kind of leaves us with one final bigger question, right? If something as intimate as our own face can be so easily misjudged just because it's unfamiliar, what other things, what ideas or people or experiences are we pushing away not because they're bad, but just because they're different from what we already know? Something to think about.